There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, it never left you still in me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. Now, Bill Gates is not the only Bill that I've been observing, and not the only Bill that I find kind of disturbing. Let's go back to the year 1986 and meet the 99th Congress. What a bunch of dicks. They came up with H.R. 4456, the Child Vaccination Act. And here's a wild, fascinating fact. If your company that you own and they supply the vaccine, somebody died, nobody gets tried in a court of law at all. Problem solved. No retribution, no legal solution. You all scot-free. Watch me hop on a plane with Mr. Epstein. Now boarding the Lolita Express. Whoa, look over there, man. Is that Eminem and Stephen Colbert? And look, it's the two Bills, Clinton and Gates. Oh man, and they look like they're hitting on that girl that we met on the plane, the one that was with Ghislaine. I think her name was Courtney. Shit, she's only 14. We need to get the fuck up out of here. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, it never left you still in me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Now, let's say that you got a foundation, and almost all your donations, they're directed toward the containment of a particular contagion. And one of your experts, he's kind of grouchy, his name is Mr. Fauci. He comes up with an equation. Fear plus persuasion equals the creation of a frightened nation whose panic and lack of education and only wanting just some protection from this agent of infection, they head in your direction and they ask Mr. Bill for their injection. Wanting just protection from this agent of infection. Why don't you go get your shine box? Your direction. Go get your fucking shine box, Tony. Injection. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me and never left you still in me, I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Dear Bill, I wrote you, but I keep getting returned to sender. I've even tried your wife Melinda, but she's putting a block on my calls. There's a rumor she might have a cock and balls. I apologize for the cursing. I guess you two are never in the same room at the same time, so people think you might be the same person. But anyway, fuck it, man. What's been up? How's the vaccine biz? I know you wish that everybody was on board like Maxine is. Oh, guess what? My wife's pregnant again. You remember Myrtle? Yeah, I always seem to wind up with the skanks. And what's up with you having 3 kids? I thought Melinda was infertile and you were shooting blanks. And what's up with all these tanks? I see them being transported on a train. Is that for martial law? This shit's getting insane. You remember when I met you in New Delhi and you were complaining that it was really smelly? Well, I asked you if it was safe getting that polio vaccine and you said I was making a great decision. Yeah, well, my daughter's okay, but my son Micah, he lost his vision. Yeah, it's been some time and a lot of tears now. And Micah, he's been blind for years now. He's gotten pretty good at walking with a cane, though. Anyway, hit me up, yo. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, you never left you still in me. I feel your divinity
What's up, everybody, and how you all doing? Let me get my desktop audio back up. All right, we should be good to go. Broken Patriot, Riddle Girl, NNHQ. First time I've seen you in here, but welcome. Riddle Girl wants to see how crazy it gets tonight. It got pretty crazy last night. I don't know, man. We had a lot of people in here last night. It was really hard to keep up with chat. NNN or Triple N. I'm just gonna call you Triple N or Arc. Kyle Rittenhouse is a POW in Illinois. Abducted this child and kidnapped him, holding him on false charges. No such thing as premeditated self-defense situation. Okay. We'll get to that. You could never premeditate a self-defense scenario. Dude, it's like John Wick 5. The early years, right? And I stole that from a Twitter thing that we're going to see later on. You didn't know he was a kid, Riddle Girl?
No.
He's 17. He's going to be tried as an adult.
He has a kid. They said they abducted his child. That's why I said I didn't know he has a kid.
Did they?
That's what NNN said.
Kyle Rittenhouse is a POW. Illinois abducted this child and kidnapped him. No, he's referring to him. No, he's too young for that. However, one of the victims of Kyle had a kid, a 2-year-old daughter, apparently, and that's getting a lot of attention right now. Save Our Children recommend starting these things at least an hour earlier for the East Coast crew. I tried that, bro. I did. I tried that for a whole week. I did it at 9 p.m. my time, so it was an hour earlier. And there was no increase or decrease, really. It was kind of the same. So I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it again at some point, but it's got to be a few people. You know what I mean? RG, what's up? How you doing this evening? Good evening, and hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing pretty good. So I want to talk a little bit about the person that this all started because of, right? This all started because of Jacob Blake. Originally, when I first saw the video, I was outraged, just as most people were, right? But every day, new evidence comes to light. Broken Patriot did a video on this today a little bit, where he talked about him having a knife. Now, Broken Patriot also pointed out that he had a knife while he was walking to the car, and I saw the photo. It looks exactly what he said, looks exactly like that. Like he had a knife while he was walking to the car. However, in the news reports that I've been hearing, nobody talks about that. They only talk about that, yes, he did have a knife in the car, and he even admitted to having a knife in the car, and then he was leaning in to get it. By the way, the knife that we saw in the photo is a karambit, right? I have a couple. These are not pocket knives. These are considered fighting knives. They are designed to poke and lacerate and hook in. Right? You can also whap somebody in the head with it like that. So they are fighting knives. Not something, that you would just reach for if you, I got a little paper I got to cut. I got to open a letter kind of thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe he was trying to take himself out by cop. And originally the report that I had received, or at least what I had heard at the time when this first came out, was that he was trying to break up a fight. Later, we've learned that he was part of the fight, right? So this is definitely evolving. I do believe also, though, that the cops failed, right? By the time he was reaching into his vehicle, okay, when he was reaching into his vehicle, at that point, I guess, I could almost say, maybe I could see how that was justified. Maybe. However, there was plenty of points before that they could have stopped that situation from getting out of hand. Apparently they tried to tase him, but the taser didn't work, or they missed, or something. There was 3 police officers there, and they couldn't keep him down on the ground for some reason. They also just kind of slowly walked with him around the car when they could have just been rushing him at that point. So there's a lot of things that they could have done on that point, on that part. I don't know, maybe. If the victim has a 2-year-old, then he should have been at home with his kid. Ain't that the truth? If you're just coming in, please don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you very much. And I do want to touch on that, by the way, of if you have a 2-year-old, stay at home, because this is a civil war. If you are deciding to go, the American people are getting pissed off. The federal government's not doing enough. The local law enforcement's not doing enough. So you have individuals going out and saying, you know what, I'm tired of it, I'm done with it, I'm going to protect this town or my shit, and I'm not going to allow this to happen. Right? Now, it's totally legal to carry in Wisconsin. It's totally legal to carry, open carry in a lot of states, most states. I mean, it is, Second Amendment. And there is a problem with the whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing we're going to get to. He's in trouble. Don't think he's getting off scot-free. He's in trouble. But if you're thinking about, if you're BLM or if you're Antifa, you should really think about it. Are you prepared to die? Because the American people are prepared to kill your ass if you get out of hand. That we're done. We're absolutely done. There was supposed to be a BLM protest here in Phoenix going from Camelback Central to like 21st Street. They had to cancel it because supposedly they were getting death threats. I doubt anybody was giving them death threats. They were just saying, yeah, we're going to show up armed to make sure this doesn't get out of hand. And that scares them enough to not go, I guess. So they canceled that. There are a few things they could have done a little better, but it's still justified. I'm kind of coming around to that, but I do have issues with it still, right? I think they're way too quick on the trigger, police in general. Tommy Boy, oh yeah, let's see. Here, let me touch that like button. Yeah, just touch it. All right, 15 in the chat, only 4 likes. Yeah, I mean, if you guys like it, hit the like. If not, you can hit the dislike. That's cool too. He could have stopped if as they asked him to. Yes, he could have. He could have stopped. I'm not saying he's innocent in any of this, right? I'm just saying, just because somebody's walking away from you when you tell them to stop does not give you the right to shoot them. Okay? You can then detain them in other ways. You can tase them. You could tackle them. You could do all sorts of things. But if I'm walking away from a police officer in a non-threatening manner at that time, right? You can't shoot me. Now, if I reach into my car and grab for a knife or a firearm, which apparently he did have a firearm and they was known to have a firearm, so maybe they knew he might have a firearm. Maybe that's why. I don't know. But just walking away from police, a non-threatening like, no, that's not a reason to shoot nobody. All right. You touched the like button. Nice. Now, here's the thing. See, top chat shows me the Zeus comment, but live chat... Oh, it finally did. Okay, so my chat that I read, not the chat that's next to me, is a little bit behind. Row 7, it's a shame they won't let police do their job, so the American people are having to take it into their own hands to keep the peace. Well, some states, right? Portland, Seattle. For sure. Absolutely, for sure. We saw the Proud Boys. Oh, I want to talk about the Proud Boys that were, I think it was in Seattle, right? They went there and they started knocking heads. And we all heard the stories. We all saw some of the footage of them fighting Antifa. Did you know that Antifa ran them off eventually? And they cowered back to their vehicles and left? And then the police took care of the rest of the situation? I didn't know that until just recently. I thought that was interesting. Gilbert, the last few weeks had protests and MAGA people kept increasing, and BLM was outnumbered by a lot. And this week, they haven't come back. There you go. Let this be a lesson for anybody that's out there thinking about rioting and looting and causing issues. I mean, I'm all for your right to peacefully protest, but as soon as it gets out of hand, all bets are off. At that point, you deserve pretty much what happens to you because you're looking for a fight. And people aren't going to play around anymore. And I would imagine this kid's probably going to get off mostly. Not completely. The scanner chat is available on here. They sent the cops in code 99. Okay, I don't really understand that, Zeus, but they were better off putting a knee to the neck instead of 7 shots. Or immune to death by knee to neck, yeah.
Did you read Fallout Gaming's comment about Gilbert?
Yeah, I did. I read it. All right, let's get on to it. Thank you very much for everybody who's here. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like the video. And let's get to it. All right. Tracking the suspect in fatal Kenosha shootings. The footage appears to show the teenager shooting 3 people during a protest in Wisconsin. We tracked his movements that night. This is from the New York Times. However, it seems like they're kind of confirming that it was self-defense in a way. The teenager who walked among protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin, carrying a military-style semi-automatic rifle, was arrested and faces a charge of first-degree intentional homicide in connection with shootings that left 2 people dead on Tuesday night. Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old Illinois resident, appeared on multiple videos taken throughout the night by protesters. That's one great thing about 2020. It's all captured on film, unless you're a police officer and don't have body cameras. Why the hell do they not have body cameras in Wisconsin? That should be a federal mandate. All police officers, all law enforcement need to have body cameras. It's not that expensive, and it would save a lot of problems. It won't cure everything, but it helps. You know what I mean? And bystanders who chronicled the events as peaceful protests gave way to chaos, with demonstrators, armed civilians, and others facing off against one another and the police in darkened streets. How long was it peaceful? Like, while they were getting it all together? The New York Times Visual Investigations Unit analyzed hours of footage to track Mr. Rittenhouse's movements in the moments leading up to and during the shootings. Who is he? He's a cop supporter. He's, likes blue lives. He also does Facebook posts where he is pro-Trump. His posts also suggest affinity for guns, with videos showing Rittenhouse taking backyard target practice, posing with guns and assembling a weapon. Ooh. I'm sure about everybody here would do that. Many details about his background and his motives for walking around the Kenosha protest carrying a military-style semi-automatic rifle are still emerging. Well, he wanted to protect it, and he didn't live that far away. I think it was 15 miles, was it, little girl?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. You missed moving that with the keyboard. Before the shootings, about 2 hours before the first shooting, the producer of a video live stream interviewed Rittenhouse at the Kenosha vehicle dealership. Mr. Rittenhouse is there at the same time as several other armed men. Some of them are positioned on the building's roof, overlooking the parking lot where vehicles were burned the day before. In a brief exchange on live stream, he identifies himself as Kyle. Let's go ahead and watch this.
What are you doing out here? Obviously you're armed and you're in front of this business we saw burning last night, so what's up?
So people are getting injured, and our job is to protect this business, and part of my job is to also help people. If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle, because I need to protect myself, obviously, but I also have my med kit.
So if you heard that, he said it's his job to be there, and there is reports that the dealership owner knew about them and gave them access to the roof and stuff, and that's why he was there. He's there to help people. That's why he has his rifle for self-defense, and he also has his med kit. In another interview, he speaks with Richie McGinnis, a video director. Rittenhouse says he's there to protect the business. He calls it a job, although there's no indication that he was asked to guard the site. Later, he claims another videographer that he was pepper sprayed by somebody in the nearby crowd while protecting property. In most of the footage the Times has reviewed from before the shooting, Mr. Rittenhouse is around this area. He also offers medical assistance to protesters. Sounds like a horrible person. About 15 minutes before the first shooting, police officers drive past Rittenhouse and other armed civilians who claim to be protecting the dealership and offer water out of appreciation. Rittenhouse walks up to the police vehicle carrying his rifle and talks with the officers. He eventually leaves the dealership and is barred by police from returning. 6 minutes later, footage shows Mr. Rittenhouse being chased by an unknown group of people into a parking lot at another dealership several blocks away. Okay, let me catch up a little bit. Military style sounds like the start of a fake news. It does. If the rifle looks scary, it's suddenly military style. That is true. I want to get a body camera. I want to get a vehicle camera. I'm looking at getting in like dash cams. Edwards, how you doing, Edwards? Welcome to the chat. Who's the racist now? I have no idea. Not me. The riders drove further. I need a kid like that to help protect my home. Yeah. Pretty soon, everyone who lives in the city is going to have a body camera going at all times in public. Seriously, you need to. Let's see. This kid is going to do big things with his life. From what I saw, he showed a lot of restraint. He did. I want to know what ammo he was using. Tactical Tone? What's up, Tactical Tone, how you doing? It's been a minute, bro. All right, so while Mr. Rittenhouse is being pursued by the group, an unknown gunman fires into the air though it's unclear why. The weapon's muzzle flash appears in the footage filmed at the scene, right here. You can see it circled. Mr. Rittenhouse turns towards the sound of gunfire as another pursuer lunges towards him from the same direction. Mr. Rittenhouse then fires 4 times and appears to shoot the man in the head. So this is the lunging man. This is Mr. Rittenhouse, right? And we're going to watch a video on that. Also, before, let's see. Yeah, we're going to watch a video on that. I'm going to point out the people that got shot. They're in this video. Okay? And I don't know if you guys seen this video, but it's kind of telling. Yeah, that guy is the guy who lunges at him. He's the first person to get shot. He gets shot in the head. That's just ambient gunfire. The other guy who gets shot in the chest is behind this black man right here. By the way, they're all wearing their mask around their chin, so technically those are chin guards. So once again, that's the first victim. This is the second guy. They're right next to each other, right? It's kind of strange. I don't give a fuck, homie.
Oh, you're in the group? We just go on. Yo. What are you doing? We gotta stick together. Yo. Don't point no motherfucking gun at me, homie. I'll ride on my fuck you with everything you got. Shoot me, nigga. Shoot me, nigga.
Oh, wait a minute. What did he just say? You looking awful white to be using that kind of language, sir.
Shoot me, nigga. Shoot me, nigga. Bust on me, nigga, for real.
Alright, so now we're going to get to the actual footage. Let me go ahead and get 1 second here. So I want to point out this right here is Mr. Rittenhouse. Okay. This is the guy that we just saw. It says shoot me a couple times. He is the one that gets shot in the head. Okay, I'm pointing this out so that you can see him lunging at Mr. Rittenhouse. Because at first it took me a minute to figure this out. What happened here. Right there he drops. So he's definitely running after this kid. Turns around, pops him. He then walks around the vehicle. There he is now, and he's coming to try to help. He's now making a phone call. I would imagine he's calling the police, but we don't know for sure. And now he's leaving.
Get a light! Give me a fucking light!
Put pressure on it! Put fucking pressure on it!
Where, dude? Where? Where's the hole?
Wait, where are you at?
Get the
He's
fucking
right here
mask
in his head, in his head! Come on! Put pressure, put pressure, put pressure!
Call the police! Call the police!
Hey, keep your eyes open, keep your eyes open.
You shot him? I didn't.
Hey, you're okay, you're okay.
Let me talk to him.
You're okay.
Dude, that's not gonna help shit. Get pressure on this shit. Yeah, but you gotta keep him alive. Hey, bro, just talk to me, bro.
Alright, so we're going to pause this. This is the same guy, obviously. Alright, so there you go. Now, to YouTube, before you decide to flag my video for showing that, that's on YouTube. So there you go. Alright. For real, it has some pretty good wounding capabilities, yeah. Okay. So did the first victim have some sort of criminal record? Yes, he did. He went and started it. He pointed his gun at people. Now he's in jail. You talking about Mr. Rittenhouse? He started it by pointing the gun? No, you don't get to claim that. But, I mean, good luck. Skate. There's another angle. Yeah, he throws something at him. Then he tries to take the gun. I know there was a report of a Molotov. I don't have a good video of it. I had like a photo of it. All right. And in Triple N, the first victim was a convicted sex offender. Yes, he was. We'll be getting to that. Yeah, I don't like going into the people's past, but I guess it does kind of, I mean, it does kind of tell you the kind of person that we're dealing with. And we already saw what he was saying there. So he was already ready to fight. He got his demands met. He did. Let's start pressing on his brain. Yeah. Play stupid games. Yep. If you don't, let's see. If you want poison, you can watch a video by the name of Donut Operator. Shows this shooting and explains it very well. I do know of Donut Operator. I haven't watched it because I've been doing my own research on it. But if I don't explain it well, I mean, definitely check his stuff out. Obviously, Fallout Gaming has. He got dome shotted. Yep. And link, please. 407, you're asking for a link from who? The one of Donut Operator, I'm guessing? They're applying direct pressure to a head wound, like it's going to help. Yeah, not really. You could tell he's not surviving that. The second shooting, Mr. Rittenhouse seems to make a phone call, then flees the scene. Several people chase him, then some shout, "That's the shooter." As Mr. Rittenhouse is running, he trips and falls to the ground. He fires 4 shots as 3 people rush towards him. One person appears to be hit in the chest and falls to the ground. Another, who is carrying a handgun, is hit in the arm and runs away. Mr. Rittenhouse gunfire is mixed in with sounds of at least 16 other gunshots that rang out during this time. We're going to watch this. Because this, last night we showed footage of it, and it was hard to see because it was a different camera angle. This is much closer of a camera angle and very clear if this is self-defense or not. Somebody just tried to sucker punch him. There he is tripping. And that guy just curb stomped him. And then hit him with a skateboard. Right? The other guy, hold on. The other guy that was shot in the arm has a handgun right there. It's a Glock. That will come into play. You guys want to talk about how Mr. Rittenhouse was in the wrong because he's underage and because he pointed his weapon at people? Believe me, that does not constitute somebody going and trying to take you out. And that's exactly what the first guy was doing, in my opinion. And we'll find out, right? We'll find out. I tell you right now, this kid's going to get off, most likely. He will have some issues because he's 17 and you have to be 18 in order to legally carry a firearm. I had a person in my comments yesterday, or was it this morning? I forget. He was trying to like, well, it's null and void because in Wisconsin you have to be 21 years and older in order to have a firearm, so therefore he can't claim self-defense. What? No, that's not how that works, okay? You can claim self-defense even if you break the law by having a firearm. If a felon has a firearm, he can still use it in self-defense and claim self-defense and get off on self-defense. He's just now going to have to go to jail for holding a weapon that he was not legally allowed to own. Okay, that's how that works. The second shooting. Okay, we already read that. Police response. As this happens, police vehicles are just 1 block away, stationary during the gunfire. He walks with his hands up towards the police vehicles. Bystanders call out to the officers that he had just shot people. The police drove by him without stopping on their way to assist the victims. It's hilarious as BLM and Antifa are calling for the police to arrest this kid who just shot them. Yet they don't believe in the police, and this whole thing is against the police, is it not? And you can see in this video that he is walking towards the cops with his hands up, trying to give himself up. What, little girl?
Please read some of the chat.
Oh, 407, they're applying. Okay, I read that. I still think it was a bag with something rubbish in it. He hate me. What's up, he hate me? I think it's the first time I've seen you in here.
He did last night.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
All three of the victims had prior charges. Yeah. So did, apparently, some people say that so did Rittenhouse. I don't know. The ones that I saw was like, he was supposedly 14 years old, and I don't know. We'll see. Dead right here, or dead right there. Guy shot in the leg. Who's shot in the leg? Dude tries to surrender so he doesn't shoot, then pulls a gun. Wait. Dude tries to surrender so he doesn't shoot, then pulls a gun? I don't understand that. What kind of message do you think this will send everyone if Kyle is charged with murder in some way or another? Well, technically, he's already kind of charged with murder. That's the initial charge. He's not going to get, that's not going to stick. It's not even going to be close. Most likely he'll get completely off on self-defense except for the fact that he was only 17 carrying a rifle, which is most likely a misdemeanor and probably won't see even jail time. Second Amendment doesn't say anything about 18. I know it don't. I know it don't. I know. The federal medic guy tried to sneak attack a guy point blank with the pistol. Okay. All right, yeah, are you talking about the guy that got his arm shot, that he was trying to get in close and shoot him with his pistol? I don't know, maybe. Hell, the police refused to defend him and stopped in tail end last night. Oh, he stopped in at the tail end. All right. Rittenhouse most likely would get a misdemeanor. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing he gets a misdemeanor. I believe that's all he gets. All right, let's get on to it. The 3 shot, 2 killed in Kenosha, Wisconsin at the BLM riot have been identified. Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, was the first one killed. Video allegedly shows him chasing the teen shooter and throwing something at him. So there you go. That video doesn't show that, but here we go. All right, Rosenbaum was a registered sex offender for a sex crime involving a minor. All right. There you go, some of that. Life registration. Wow, if it's life registration, that's pretty serious, right? Here's the other guy that got shot. He was the one that hit him with a skateboard. You can see right there. Okay. Another, Anthony Hubert, 26, was shot and killed in Kenosha, Wisconsin at the BLM riot. He was filmed chasing down an armed teen and hitting him when he was on the ground with a skateboard. His criminal history that includes charges of battery and repeated domestic abuse. He also has a 2-year-old daughter at home. Right, and he has a GoFundMe apparently, so there's that. Andy Najo, or whatever. The third who was shot and survived is Greg Gross-Kurtz, 26. He's a member of the People's Revolution Movement. He was filmed chasing after the teen with a pistol. He was shot at close range in the upper arm. He has a criminal record that includes being intoxicated and armed with a gun. A friend of the man who rushed at the Kenosha teen with a pistol and was shot in the arm has posted an update about his status. Doctors were able to save his arm, the friend says. Gage regrets not being able to kill the teen. Well, that's nice. He regrets not being able to kill him. Wow. Stuckless. So the kid shot Gage as he drew his weapon and Gage retreated with his gun in hand. I just talked to Gage. Toot's only regret was not killing the kid and hesitated to pull the gun before emptying the entire mag into him. Wow. It's lighting up. It's lighting up.
Streambot is dead.
Streambot is dead?
Yeah. And I've been chatting over there too. Just died.
Alright. Let's see if there's any way to reconnect it. Is there?
See? Connection expired.
I know, but is there any way to refresh it?
Not that I'm aware of.
You'll need to reconnect your channel on your Restream dashboard. Oh, that's, yeah, I'm not going to do that. All right, just keep an eye on DLive. For all my DLive viewers, I do apologize. Real Girl's going to keep an eye on it. All right, let's see. He looked like he did a fake surrender unless maybe he was trying for a quick draw. But I think he had the pistol out before the dude even shot the skater guy. Yeah, from the footage that I saw, it looked like he already had the gun out. Yes, watch it in slow. He screams medic a bunch, hands up, then pulls a pistol. There's a better footage. We got some photos that we're going to get to. Pay attention to their ages, all young. from the no spanking generation. Yeah, it might have helped. Having respect for others. You don't have that. You're not taught it as it's growing up. Real headline should read, victim of child abuse successfully defends himself against violent felons. I did not know that he was a victim of child abuse. Some people will never learn. Unfortunately, prepared accordingly. The guy from the People's Revolution will never be able to point a gun again. Well, not with that arm. All right, maybe with the other one. I'm just going to read a few of these. Registered sex offender. Here's the guy. Should have worn a mask. There's his arm. There's the two individuals. Here's some more video of the guy saying, shoot me, bro, shoot me. And he doesn't say bro. Here's the photo that I used for the thumbnail. You can see him being stomped. There's the guy with the firearm as he's holding his arm. It is a Glock. There's him holding his chest because he just got shot. Class X. Yeah, this guy's a felon, supposedly, not allowed to own a firearm. I did want to read this. I think this is kind of interesting. In 1933, Hitler appointed Hermann Göring Minister of the Interior. His first orders were to defend and eliminate police departments, or defund, I'm sorry. His first orders were to defund and eliminate police departments so that they would not interfere with his brown shirts, whose mission it was to riot, burn, beat up, and kill citizens in an effort to sway the elections. Wow. Just wow. All right. This is the kid earlier as he was cleaning up graffiti. That's apparently why he was wearing gloves. I do not know if that's the actual reason, but that's what he was doing. So there you go. Now I want to watch a little bit of Midwestly. It's also known as the Quarterling. Let's watch this.
GoFundMe has picked a side, though. They support rioters. When the mob comes to your home, don't forget that to them, you're the bad guy. Now, I don't know. Again, the kid was 17. He shouldn't have owned that weapon. And he shouldn't have probably been in the city. You have a better reason to be there if you live there. Or it's your friend asks you to come up. And we don't know that that's not the case. But it looks bad that he isn't even from the area and he showed up there. Now, in my opinion, both instances, actually all three instances, were self-defense. Clearly, video evidence proves that. But here's GoFundMe. Here's the verified GoFundMe to support the family of Anthony Huber. By the way, a repeat domestic abuser. The hero who gave his life attempting to take down a gunman in Kenosha. Again, not how it happened. Video evidence proves otherwise. Let's see how much it's up to. Almost $100,000. Anthony Huber has a history of abusing his loved ones, but I guess that's pretty much required of leftists and heroes these days. 2.1 thousand likes compared to GoFundMe's 533 likes. Reprehensible. Your website is cancer. $71,000 for getting iced while engaged in lawless savagery. Cha-ching. GoFundMe for the guy defending himself from feral violent rioters. Booted. Yeah, they took down, they disallowed a GoFundMe for Rittenhouse. But this is a take I can agree with. In complex situations like this, where details aren't available, GoFundMe should remain neutral and apply consistent standards. Either all parties involved should be permitted to use the platform until facts are settled, or none should. Let me add that I will no longer be donating to any charities or causes via GoFundMe. It's disappointing because I regularly support various causes this way. But I have to follow my conscience. I will reach out to families to donate privately going forward. Here's his rap sheet. I don't know. Reckless endangerment, use of a weapon, domestic, strangulation, domestic, false imprisonment, domestic, battery, domestic, disorderly. These are, I'm not rereading the same ones. These are multiple times. Real hero. Why'd you delete Kyle's GoFundMe? Video and audio evidence captured those on the streets with him indicate that he had a reasonable cause to shoot and that it may be legally self-defense. I think it is self-defense. Now, he's going to get charged. That's for sure. He's definitely going to get charged. With what charge? Who knows? Who knows? The whole situation is just pathetic, and I hate it. I wish none of this was happening. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again.
All right. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting enough to play it. I think, let's see. Ironic, the black guy that kicks him in the head is the only one that didn't get shot. I hope Kyle gets released. I do, yeah. We'll see. I want justice to be served, obviously. So I do think that it needs to be an investigation in it. It's not just, you know, since we watched the video, we don't get to choose. You know what I mean? If we believe in the system at all, and you know, I try to. I have my issues with the system as well, but at the same time, you know, we're supposed to believe in the system. If we believe in the system, we need to let that happen. However, it is Wisconsin, and Stephen Avery got ran through the system pretty good there. So, I don't know. I think he hurt his hip trying to kick him. Thought he got shot for sure. He was also doing a medic shit, so gloves make sense. Yeah, I guess. Skateboard boy, he's a bad hombre. Yeah. What's up, Christopher Boggs? I think it's the first time I've seen you here. Welcome. Runer down. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you here either. And MX Villain.
Say hi to Jupiter 5.
Jupiter 5 is here too?
On D-Live.
Oh, D-Live. What's up? Yeah, that's right. I forgot. Jupiter 5 is a D-Live guy. Welcome to D-Live, or welcome to the chat. Appreciate it. All right, so GoFundMe ain't going to support him, but the GOA will. This is kind of good news. GOA media demonizes apparent self-defender Kyle Rittenhouse. All right. GOA media demonizes apparent self-defender Kyle Rittenhouse. Gun Owners of America Senior Vice President Eric Pratt released the following statement of Kyle Rittenhouse citizen-involved shooting. Based on the publicly available video evidence, it appears that Kyle Rittenhouse was acting in self-defense, and despite fake news media reports, it's clear that Kyle was not firing indiscriminately into a crowd. The GOA has reached out to Rittenhouse's attorneys and Lake County Public Defender's Office, and we have our own attorneys using use of force experts looking into this case as well. In the meantime, we demand fair treatment from the media, because up till now, their coverage has been horrific. With no evidence, they have labeled Kyle as a racist, a vigilante, but that just indicates how the media elites view all gun owners. More to the point, the media has given more favorable coverage to the rioters and the looters over the past several months than to gun owners who appear to be protecting their lives from violent attackers. Just look at the McCloskeys. The media excuses the violent torching of American cities as mostly peaceful protests, and they now minimize the hatefulness of Kyle's attackers, calling them mere protesters. But if leftists wants to question why Kyle Rittenhouse was in Kenosha, then they should have begun by asking that question to the protesters who have criminal records and who came from out of town to terrorize business owners. That's one thing you guys might not know. All 3 people that been shot, I believe they were all from out of city as well. It wasn't just Mr. Rittenhouse. The bottom line is this: every human being has a God-given right to protect themselves, and when a person's life is under attack, the Constitution protects their ability to use firearms without infringement in the defense of that life. There you go. That's pretty cool. They got the GOA on them. And I'm a proud member of the GOA now, too, because they're the only no-compromise gun organization that's out there. Fuck the NRA, huh? What is the NRA doing? Not a damn thing. All right. Is there video showing what happened leading up to the guy in red head wrapped chasing the kid? There might be. I haven't seen it. right? I do know that we had the video. I don't know if you just joined, but we had video of the guy in red that got shot in the head. Him agitating the people with their firearms, right? The militia, whatever you want to call them. And he was agitating them, like, why don't you shoot me, N-word? Shoot me, N-word. Right? He was definitely ready to fight. You could tell, right? What actually led up to that, I don't know. But I know Kyle supposedly left the gas station, right? As far as the reports go, he wasn't able to come back, so he was going somewhere else. I do not know where. And then he was being chased by that guy, threw something at him, and then lunged at him, and Kyle, self-defense. Right? That's what we know so far, but we're not judge and jury, so we'll see how that works out. I just watched a video showing the first shooting with the bald guy. Kyle was shot at first from behind him, then turned around and fired at the bald guy charging him on video. Well, we see a photo, right here. This is of the first shooting. This is the guy who's lunging at Mr. Rittenhouse. Here's Mr. Rittenhouse. There's a muzzle flash over here. There was a lot of gunfire going on that night. He pushes his way through the crowd, and then you can see from a distance he lunges at Rittenhouse. If you could argue vigilante, but I saw no evidence of racism. Vigilante, I don't know, man. That would be him trying to take the law into his own hands. You can defend a business, especially, and I don't know if he had permission from the owner, but if it comes out that he had permission from the owner to be there, he had every right to defend that business. Then is technically his property, right? Or he's been charged to defend it. Watch the rest in the morning. Okay. Given the shots were fired even before Kyle fired, do we know for sure what Kyle's bullet is indeed the one who shot the dude with the red head wrap? I mean, we watched the video. There's Kyle. There's the guy. He's chasing Kyle, and then he drops. I'm going to guess that Kyle's the one that popped him.
They're asking for the link to that first video since they missed it. Can you share that for them?
The first video.
Yeah.
Well, I have this video here.
Yeah, that one.
All right. There you go. Let's see. Who got a link to the video of the N-word getting shot in the face? I do. It's right here. Right? All right. Y'all coming in late. I'm going to get to the point. So there he is right here. This is the bald guy, right? By the way, this is the guy that got shot in the chest with a skateboard.
Oh, you're with the group? We just go Yo. What are you doing? We gotta stick together.
So he does say, don't point that fucking gun at me, something, right? I didn't see anybody pointing, but it's happening over here, so it's kind of hard to see.
Don't point no motherfucking gun at me, homie. I'll ride on mine. Fuck you with everything you got. Shoot me, nigga. Shoot me, nigga. Bust on me, nigga, for real.
Alright, so this is the guy that's bald-headed that gets shot in the head. This is Mr. Rittenhouse. Apparently he threw something. We don't see that in this video here. But you can see him running towards him. And then right here, he drops him. Alright. Once again. There you go. So that's that. All right, let's move on. All right. White kid shoots some white felon. So is he a racist? Yeah, that's strange. None of them are black, right? Well, I kid you not, YouTube just removed it. It was done by Channel Donut Operator. Really? Well, I know Donut Operator, right? He's a pretty big channel. So, yeah, I haven't seen that. There was lots of shots from rioters. Yeah, there was a lot of shooting going on. The American people are done with this shit, and if they try to pull this shit in Arizona, they are screwed. That's why they canceled the one, I think, on Camelback. Saying when he was walking to the police, shots all over, it was. Only about an hour. Only about an hour. Okay, Kyle's like John Wick in the younger years. Yeah, we saw the tweet of that. Looked like the guy applying support, firing. Looked like guy applying support, firing after the shots 2 guys from ground. Biden confused Kyle with the guy that got shot by the cops in an interview with CNN, then went on a rant about how Kyle belonged to a militant group. Anderson Cooper was stunned. Young man walked through the valley. All right, caught up. Some of your chats I'm not really getting the reference to, but let's get to this. Call to arms on social media to defend Kenosha from riotous thugs. I'm telling you, man, you want to go riot? You want to play stupid games? It's going to end real soon. People are tired of it. And when people like Mr. Rittenhouse gets off on self-defense, maybe he spends 6 months in jail for having a firearm under 18. Who knows? Probably not even that. You'll see people are maybe, just maybe, people will second guess. Maybe I shouldn't go riot. Because maybe some people out there will shoot me and get away with it. Because if I come at you with a skateboard, that's a deadly weapon. Right? You coming at me with a firearm, that's a deadly weapon. You curb stomping me on the ground, that still can be deadly because a lot of people have died from getting curb stomped on the ground. Any of that is prime self-defense. Repeated calls for armed defenders to travel to Kenosha, Wisconsin to protect business owners from following the police shooting of Jacob Blake spread across social media in the hours before 2 people were shot to death and a third was wounded during a third night of riots in the city. Multiple threads on Facebook and Reddit urge militia and other gun owners to head to protest. Researchers at the Atlantic Council Digital Forensic Lab said in a blog post Wednesday. The demonstrations broke out after Blake, a 29-year-old black man who was resisting arrest, was left paralyzed. We all know about that. 2 people were killed in the gunfire Tuesday night, and Kyle Rittenhouse, a white 17-year-old from nearby Antioch, Illinois, was arrested Wednesday on suspicion of first-degree homicide. A video director for the conservative website The Daily Caller tweeted Wednesday that he had conducted a video interview with the suspected gunman before the shooting and posted a clip in which the armed young man standing in front of a boarded-up building said, "Our job is to protect this business. And part of my job is also to help people," he said. "If there's somebody hurt, I'm running into harm's way. That's why I have my rifle, because I can protect myself, obviously. But I also have my med kit." We watched that clip. The Atlantic Council researchers said that before the attack, some of the online discussions encouraged acts of violence, while conspiracy website InfoWars amplified the call to arms as the city burned, potentially encouraging more armed people to head to Kenosha in Wisconsin. People 18 and over can legally open carry a gun without a permit. Facebook confirmed Wednesday that it took down a page called Kenosha Guard for violating its policy against militia organizations. The company said it also is in the process of removing other accounts and material tied to the shootings that violate its policies, such as for glorifying violence, and it is in contact with local and federal law enforcement on the matter. So they're going after the people who organize people to actually go there and protect the area. Nice. You got the big companies like, no, we want to protect the protest and the rioters and the looters. Screw the people that actually want to protect the city. All right, Donut Operator's video got taken down. It's fucking crazy, stupid YouTube censoring the truth. It won't be the first time, I'm sure. If they convict this kid of murder, it's an act of war on us, GOA. Kid should be given an award based on what I've seen. Dude, he had a $400 rifle, DPMS, right? 1 magazine. He had no ballistic plates. He didn't have any. He had a red dot on it, and he got a headshot, a body shot, and shot somebody in the arm. I mean, you don't need all that fancy gear, I guess. Exactly. Figure I have a few videos taken down. Yeah, me too. Runner down. The video I saw, the bald guy throws something at him, and a gun with a flash go off behind the kid. We saw the flash part. That was the first shot. The 4 shots after was Kyle. I don't know. There was a lot of shots after he had circled around too, so I mean it kind of all blends together, right? Yesterday I had a person call me and say, why don't you deputize citizens who have guns to come out and patrol the city of Kenosha? And I'm like, oh hell no. He said once he deputizes someone, they are liable to me and the county. Ray Roberts, a 38-year-old black Kenosha resident and Army veteran, said men from rural areas got in big trucks loaded up with guns and flags and got into town. Good for them. You would see them driving into town after curfew and cops would not stop them, Roberts said. Why should they? They're not gonna riot. They're not gonna burn shit down, right? The cops are more worried about the people breaking the law than the people there to help protect people's property. All right. Mark Wolf, what's up? Mark, which lets us all admit this was damn good shooting. It definitely wasn't firing indiscriminately, and I don't know how many shots he missed, but it doesn't seem like very many. As Kyle walks to police, you can see others providing support, telling Kyle, come this way. Seeing several shots from all sides. As Kyle is walking to police, you hear several shots at the time you do. There's shots all over the place. I'm sure it was going on all night. I think it's possible the short bald guy that was attacking Kyle was shot by someone else. Not 100% sure, though. Caused no footage in that area. Well, the footage that we see, I mean, he got really close to Kyle. Kyle did turn around. You can kind of make it out where he turned around and then the guy dropped. Young people think they're smart and immortal. They do. Here in the Communist News Network. Whether it was justified or not, still an excellent display of marksmanship. Shot either people physically attacking him or pointing pistols at him. Especially because he was shot in the head with the AR at close range. You'd think there would have been more damage. That is true. That is true. Maybe it was a graze. It was on the side of his head if you saw that, right? Especially because... Oh, wait, I heard that. Cooper Kai? I heard the 2 guys said, what did he do? Then they went in and attacked him. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. All right, getting a little bit off of that story because we dwelled on it quite a bit. Let's talk about Biden. He's now blaming Trump for rooting for more violence in Wisconsin. Oh, what you'll do to get elected in this world. Joe Biden on Thursday said without evidence that President Donald Trump is rooting for more violence amid riots in Wisconsin that he would be willing to visit the state himself and try and defuse tensions. He views this as political benefit, the Democratic presidential nominee said of Trump on MSNBC hours before the president will address the final night of the Republican National Convention. He's rooting for more violence, not less, and it's clear about that. Oh, dude, people are seeing through that. Middle America, people that live in these towns that usually vote Democrat. Wisconsin now has Trump in the lead in the polls by a lot. Biden was referring to the ongoing protests in Kenosha, Wisconsin, where Jacob Blake, a black man who has resisted arrest before attempting to access a knife in his vehicle. See, this is what I'm saying. Before attempting to access the knife. What about the knife that we saw that he already had? Was shot 7 times. We already know about that. The former vice president cited comments made earlier Thursday by White House advisor Kellyanne Conway, who suggested on Fox and Friends that the Wisconsin unrest could help Trump's re-election chances. And she's absolutely right. And we're seeing that in the polls because people are realizing this is what the Democrats want. This is what Joe Biden was wanting. Kamala Harris said, do not stop rioting. Never stop. Do not let up. She said that before she became the VP nomination. People need to find that clip and play it and put it on an ad if it's not already on an ad. I don't know of all the Trump ads. I don't watch them. Conway later explained the thought to Hurricane Laura's destruction and telling reporters at the White House that she doesn't look at the hurricane or what's happening in Kenosha as political. I look at it as a matter of safety and safety. Still, Biden seized on her original comment, asking when someone speaking on behalf of the president ever said something like that ever. Biden and his running mate, Senator Harris, has remained mostly silent throughout the GOP's convention the first 3 days. The pair said nothing during the week's Democratic National Convention about the urban violence epidemic that has swept the nation. That's because if he speaks out against them and he denounces the violence, then it's going to look bad on him and he's going to lose the little voting base that he actually has, right? They're just not going to vote. And if they don't vote, well, that's a vote for Trump. Biden's interview makes his most public comments this week. Though Harris is delivering a speech from Washington on Thursday, exonerating Trump for his handling of the Rona-19 pandemic and economic fallout. Republicans have highlighted the Democratic ticket ties to the rioters who entirely oppose Trump and have accurately said that Biden supports defunding police departments, which he has said before, he got the nomination. Biden, meanwhile, has largely limited travel to near his home in Wilmington, Delaware during the campaign, contributing to the widespread perception that he is frail and not up to the rigors of leading a country, much less traveling to try and win the White House. But he said that he considers traveling to Kenosha, adding, "I don't want to become part of the problem. I want to make sure it's able to be done safely and we bring some competence." There ain't no way you're going to go there and be safe. "If I was president, I'd be going," Biden said, "but it's hard to tell now what the circumstances on the ground is." Really? Should he make the trip, Biden said he would attempt to pull together the black community as well as the white community and sit down and talk about how we can get through this. Okay. As riots over a charge of institutional racism and police brutality have swept the country for months, Biden also said Thursday that he opposes violence in Wisconsin or anywhere else. "I don't think that it's what Kenosha is about. I don't think that's what black and white Americans about." But he said if Trump was without evidence, he just keeps pouring fuel on the fire. He's encouraging this. He's not diminishing this at all. This is America now, Biden says, and if you want to end it where we are now, we've got to end this tenure as president. All right. She also said she wants to round up Trump supporters. Yes, I do remember that. Wait, let me go back a little bit. Stacking 9mm. Hey, what's up? "So sick of hypocrisy, BS, and division the media is spreading." Yeah, I know, it's getting disgusting. Mark Wolf. "Oh, Jacob Blake, the guy with warrants on him for sexual assault. Yeah, don't reach into the car when police tell you to get on the ground." I still don't like it. I still don't like that they shot him 7 times. I still think that they could have de-escalated that way before he went to his car. Now, once he goes to his car, and once they have allowed him to go to his car, once he is walking away very slowly, and they're very slowly walking towards him and saying, "Hey, stop doing that." At that point, when he's opening the car and reaching in, yes, they had to, right? Maybe. But there was plenty of places before that they might have been able to stop that. All right, "I'm thankful I've never been shot, but I hear it burns." It does. She also said she wants to run up Trump. That's surgeon graduated top of his class at Yale and told me that. Okay. "I'm running in this truck stop. Arby's better be open or I'm coming up out of this mask." Okay, OMG. OMG got the munchies. Dude, I love fucking Arby's, man. Get some Arby's sauce. Oh. Edwards is leaving. Good night, Edwards. Stacking 9. "Media does anything and everything they can to push, divide, demonize anything that's pro-freedom, pro-2A while supporting rioters and criminals." Well, I don't know what they want. They want Trump out bad, right? And now people on CNN are actually saying to the rioters to, "Hey, stop doing it because you're only helping Trump." That's kind of funny. They should all lock the Democrats up for racketeering and being Antifa/BLM terrorist supporters and enablers. Freedom of speech, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's like calling fire in a movie theater. If you try to do that, though, man, there'd be so much outrage from both sides, not just the right, or not just the left. I do believe Trump is pouring gas on the fire. Do you? But so are the Dems and the media. I don't know if Trump is. I mean, could he be handling it better? Yeah. But I mean, he's Trump, right? Everybody on that side not gonna like him, no matter what he does, no matter what. This is America. No such thing as black or white communities. Let's try American communities. 407 with the comment of the night. Thank you very much for that comment, bro. That is correct. If we could just stop being divided, and we're being divided by the media and people in power on purpose because they are scared of the American people. Why do you think they want gun control so bad? It's not to protect anybody on the streets. It's to protect them, right? They also want to divide us rich versus poor, black versus white, privileged versus non-privileged, right? Because if we actually came together and supported each other as fellow Americans, oh my goodness, what we could actually accomplish in this country, and it scares the living piss out of them. Zeus, Jacob call was code 99 over scanner. He should have complied. Okay, Arby's is right around the corner. Yeah, I love Arby's. Did you see Harris saying the riots won't stop? I saw her saying that she doesn't want them to stop. Like, you guys can't stop. You guys got to keep going on until we get change, right? I hope Trump uses that in an ad. I really do. Wisconsin governor finally accepts help from president. Kenosha is calmer. That's good news. Protest in Kenosha over the police shooting of a black man who resisted. Yeah, we know that. Were more peaceful. Okay, they were more peaceful tonight. Following the arrest of a 17-year-old police admirer accused of killing 2 people and wounding a third. Yeah. As early Thursday, no groups patrolled with long guns, as there were during previous nights of protest over the Sunday shooting of Blake, who was left paralyzed. We know that. Kyle Rittenhouse of Antioch, Illinois, about 15 miles from Kenosha. It's not like they're making it like, oh, he came from a long distance. 15 miles ain't nothing, man. Was taken into custody on Wednesday on suspicion of first-degree homicide in the shooting on Tuesday. Largely captured on cell phone. I just killed somebody. The gunman carrying a semi-automatic rifle could be heard saying. In the wake of the killings, far-left Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers finally accepted federal law enforcement assistance that had been offered by President Trump for days. It is a tragedy that 2 people had to lose their lives before Governor Evers was willing to set aside politics and accept President Trump's help to restore order in Kenosha, said Wisconsin Representative Brian Stelly and Senator Ron Johnson, both Republicans, in a joint statement on Wednesday afternoon. Violence and chaos like we've seen the last 3 nights do nothing to advance justice, and they only drown out the voices of those protesting peacefully. I don't know. I haven't seen a peaceful protest from BLM in a very long time. I mean, maybe they start out peaceful, right? All protests start out peaceful. You got to get everybody together. Okay, this is what we're going to chant. Okay, everybody good? All right. And then rioting begins. Yes, peaceful for like 5 seconds. The governor also authorized the deployment of 500 members of the National Guard to Kenosha, doubling the number of troops in the city to 100,000 midway between Milwaukee and Chicago. Authorities also announced 7 p.m. curfew, though protesters ignored it again on Wednesday. Protesters marched past the intersection where 2 people were shot Tuesday night, stopping to gather around the spot where 1 person was shot and lay flowers. Dejan Span said he decided to join the demonstration because of those killed the night before was a friend. I couldn't take it anymore, he said. I just couldn't sit there and watch my friend die. Well, your friend decided to play a stupid game. Evers, a Democrat, issued a statement asking those who wanted to exercise their First Amendment rights to please do so peacefully and safely. Wow. There you go. I can get behind that. And urging others to please stay safe, stay at home, and let first responders, law enforcement, and members of Wisconsin National Guard do their jobs. A senseless tragedy like this cannot happen again, Evers said. Yeah. The 2 people killed late Tuesday were identified as 26-year-old Silver Lake, Wisconsin resident and 36-year-old from Kenosha. Okay, so 1 person was from Kenosha. A wounded person, 36-year-old from West Allis, Wisconsin, has expected to survive, police said. That's the guy that got shot in the arm. Rittenhouse was assigned a public defender in Illinois. He's going to be extradited to Wisconsin. The public defender's office had no comment. Under Wisconsin law, anyone 17 or older is treated as an adult in the criminal system. And here's my issue. And here is where I think the GOA's defense league or defense team is going to have a good time with this, is they're going to try him as an adult at 17. Well, if he's an adult at 17, then he's an adult enough to hold a firearm. Right? That's just my opinion. The police were afraid to do their job during the stringent media attention. If they touch them, they'll be labeled racist if they were using excessive force on the poor black man. Yeah, well, they still did, didn't they? I don't trust any of them. Some departments use different codes. 99 is critical, extreme critical, life-threatening situation. Tried Googling it, but there was a bunch of different ones that didn't seem to match. Okay, find the scanner video that on that call. Looks like the bot woke up. All right, cool. Ron Johnson. Yeah, I know, right? I voted for him back when we lived in Wisconsin. Mostly peaceful firebombing. It was a mostly peaceful protest, was it not? 15 miles is a joke. 17 miles each way for my wife to go to school. You know. At this point, anyone caught trying to burn down any building should be charged with attempted murder and terrorism. A few examples of rioters and put on the news. Make examples of rioters and put them on the news. They won't, though. No, they won't. BLM. Yeah. John S. What's up, John S? Kyle made an example out of some Antifas. Police are in a tough spot right now, for sure. Yeah. They are. That's why I think they should have stopped the guy before he got into his car. Right? Now you just shot him 7 times, and now you look bad. Shooting somebody should not be your first thing. And they should all have body cameras, and they don't. And that's a problem. Right? All right. The man who said he had made the widely circulated cell phone video of Blake's shooting has said he heard officers yell, "Drop the knife, drop the knife," which would refer to him having a knife before he got to the car, right? Before the gunfire erupted. He said he didn't see a knife in Blake's hands, but we've seen a photo of it. And Broken Patriot, if you have that photo on file and you want to drop a link to that, that'd be great. Because I don't have it on me right now. Cash for Commies, Ford Foundation funds BLM and Antifa militias. Or militants. I did not know this. For all practical intents, the far-left Ford Foundation is at war with police officers in America. This may come to a surprise since the organization is one of the country's most wealthy endowments, second to the Gates Foundation, and because it was founded by Henry Ford, the manufacturer of America's first police cruiser. Yet there's a little question that for the past 4 years, the foundation has waged a campaign of aggression against law enforcement across the country to advance a Marxist agenda. The Ford Foundation has been funding both Antifa, Black Lives Matter groups to administer justice to America, for whose history begins with the genocide of indigenous people and continued with the enslavement of African people, whose free labor built the wealth of countless white Americans, according to its website. The organization has spent a hefty part of $2 billion since 2016 on groups dedicated to destroying police departments. The Ford Foundation has given $1.2 million to Antifa Network, made up of members of the Communist Workers' World Party. The group is called the Southern Vision Alliance, whose activists operate in New York City, New Orleans, Chicago, and cities across North Carolina, according to their annual report. This Antifa network serves the Ford Foundation's goal of disrupting systems to advance social justice. This year, the Ford Foundation gave them $750,000, more than tripling its inaugural donation, bringing the foundation's total contribution to $1.2 million. Marxist-Leninist revolutionary groups are also beneficiaries of the Ford Foundation support. Florida group Dream Defenders seek community control of economic resources, releases of prisoners in American prisons, and an end to capitalist system in the United States, according to its now subscribed website. The group, marching under BLM banner, shuts down busy bridges during rush hour in order to provoke confrontations with officials. They swarm neighborhoods, threatening residents with unrelenting civil unrest unless they agree to defund the police. All right, let's see. BLM is like Marxism. I think most departments are desperate to keep police on the force. A lot of them are quitting. Lack of police and lack of adequate training, problems more likely to happen. I agree. The people, the good cops, if there are many good cops, they're leaving, right? They don't want to be in this. So what you're going to be left with is all the ones that are like, yeah, I could shoot somebody. You know what I mean? BLM wants to make martyrs, not save black lives. They also destroy black businesses too. I agree. 2020, they should all have body cameras. I know, right? It's stupid easy. Problem is, they won't stop because the police are the first ones put in these situations that can easily go wrong, even one mistake. Yeah, I get you. Then boom, the BLM and the media pushing rioting in an entire city. Police cams and police accountability. Right now, there have been plenty of stories where cops totally get away with it. We have the incident in Mesa, Arizona, where a guy was shot in a hotel room trying to comply with officers' demands. Right? That officer got acquitted. Not only did he get acquitted, but then his dad, who was the police chief, rehired him to the Mesa Police Department. He worked there for another month and then retired due to having post-traumatic stress of having to go through killing this kid and then going through a trial. And so now he is collecting a pension. It's instances like that that need to stop, right? We just recently had a murder of Kyle Whitaker here in Phoenix, Arizona. Absolutely, from the video and the body cameras, it's pretty cut and dry. That's straight up murder by cop, right? They killed him.
Not Kyle.
Huh?
Ryan, not Kyle.
Sorry, Ryan Whitaker. Messed up. Anyway, I don't know what's going to happen there. We'll see, right? But the way Phoenix and Mesa and Arizona have been, I don't expect to see this cop see any justice. Ford supported Germany too, did they? Did not know that. That's why I don't buy Fords. I like Fords. I'm starting not to like what I just read there, though, for sure. I've been told by half the people I know I should be a cop and take a pay cut. Yes, I heard about that. It was due to get more money when retiring also. Yeah. Hell, I had a camera 20 years ago. Yeah. I don't know why anyone would want to be a cop unless they have some kind of power trip. Seriously, I mean, are you really going to protect and serve? I mean, the Supreme Court has ruled many times that they have no obligation to serve or protect you. It's up to you to protect yourself. The cops are just there to collect whatever's left. They're pretty much a collection agency, kind of like back in the day with Capone, right? Think of Capone as the state government, and think about all of his henchmen as his police officer protection rackets, right? They're going out there and they're collecting their protection money because you ran a red light at 3 a.m. and didn't hurt a damn person.
It was that pride thing I was showing you.
Yes, I heard about that. Okay. Girl 407. Okay, speaking of Fords, how is yours? It's still broken down, man. I don't know. They're saying they're going to get back to me next week. What did you want to talk about, Riddle?
The whole protect and serve, the Phoenix Pride thing on that
handout.
So
we just got this in the mail, right? This is a, what do you call it? A sex offender has moved into our area thing, right?
Yep.
And so we get this little mailer that a sex offender has moved in. Where's the thing that quotes it?
I turned it open. I have just folded it exactly where you needed to see.
All right, yeah, all right. So here we go. This is from the Phoenix Police Department, right? Phoenix Police Department. Guiding values: protection and prevention, respect and responsibility, integrity and ideals, dedication to duty, and employee excellence. Says the same people who shot Ryan Whitaker in the back. Yeah. Anyway. National Security Chief Janelle, Obama corruption made me sick to my stomach. Already up in arms over the break-in protocol by allowing Secretary of State Mark Pompeo to speak Tuesday at the Republican National Convention, left-wing partisans and pundits were likely to be vexed even more by Wednesday's speech by National Security Advisor Richard Grenell. The recently promoted former ambassador to Germany has proven himself to be a dauntless advocate of Trump, setting the tone for his tenure by declassifying several documents that originate the simmering flames of the Obamagate scandal. Janelle told viewers that having seen all the facts in the case involving the Russian collusion hoax, the Obama administration actions make me sick to my stomach. Confirming the case long denied and ignored by the left allied media, Grenell said they presented bogus info as facts, they lied to judges, and they classified anything that undermined their case. However, the Democratic administration end-of-term corruption and efforts to undermine the incoming Trump presidency was but a coda to many years of failed international stewardship, which Goodell labeled a disaster. So there's our little touch on the Russiagate thing going on. Right now, most departments can hire enough police. Most fed up staying at home at this point. I work security and get police trying to recruit me all the time. You must have a nice security job. The police are going to serve the shit out of you. My Toady is running great. I'm sure it is, bro. Alright. Found on the road dead. Yeah. It wasn't found on the road dead. It stayed in my garage and died. I got it home before it died. Powerful black, and I'm not a Chevy guy either. I'm not a foreign guy either. I do not support Toyota. I have my own reasons for that we won't go into. Powerful black voices are helping Trump clinch deal on Brexit deflections. One of the lead stories to come out of the first two nights of the Republican National Convention was what seemed like an unprecedented embrace of minority perspectives. Among the highlights were up-and-coming black political leaders like Tim Scott of South Carolina and Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron. On the RNC's third night Wednesday of a trio cultural leaders of whom recounted their own civil rights struggles in the Jim Crow era South may have clinched the deal with even the rival Biden campaign, now setting the expectation that President Trump could overperform with black voters. That's right. I think he will. I think he's going to win a lot of more black votes than he did last time.
Greetings, my fellow Americans. I am Clarence Henderson. There have been movements that have changed the course of history. Among the most extraordinary was the Civil Rights Movement. 60 years ago, segregation was legal and enforced. The simple act of sitting at a lunch counter could lead to physical harm, jail time, or worse. I know from personal experience. Walking into Woolworth department store on February 2nd, 1960, I knew it was unlike any day I'd experienced before. My friends had been denied service the day before because of the color of their skin. We knew it wasn't right. But when we went back the next day, I didn't know whether I was going to come out in a vertical or prone position, in handcuffs or on a stretcher, or even in a body bag. By sitting down to order a cup of coffee, we challenged injustice. We knew it was necessary, but we didn't know what would happen. We faced down the KKK. We were cursed at and called all kinds of names. They threatened to kill us, and some of us were arrested, but it was worth it. Our actions inspired similar protests throughout the South against racial injustice. And in the end, segregation was abolished, and our country moved a step closer to true equality for all. That's what actual peaceful protest can accomplish. America isn't perfect. We're always improving. But the great thing about this country is that it's not where you come from, it's where you're going. I was born on what some would call the wrong side of the tracks. I don't even have a birth certificate. I never attended an integrated school, and am the only one out of my immediate family who graduated from college, an HBCU. I'm a military veteran and a civil rights activist. And you know what else? I'm a Republican, and I support Donald Trump. If that sounds strange, you don't know your history. It was the Republican Party that passed the 13th Amendment, abolishing slavery. It was a Republican Party that passed the 14th Amendment, giving black men citizenship. It was the Republican Party that passed the 15th Amendment, giving black men the right to vote. Freedom of thought is a powerful thing. There are Americans, voters all over the country, who media is trying to convince to conform to the same old Democratic talking points. You know what that'll get you? The same old results. Joe Biden had the audacity to say, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. Well, to that, I say, if you do vote for Biden, you don't know history.
That's right.
Donald Trump is not a politician. He's a leader. Politicians are a diamond.
So I'm going to stop it right there, but he is correct. If you vote for the Democrats and you're black, you don't know history. Democrats are the party of the KKK. The Democrats are the party of Jim Crow. The Democrats are the slave owners. And a lot of people nowadays do not know that. And if they did hear that, even from somebody they would believe, they would just assume that, well, I've heard somewhere else also that everybody switched parties, right? They switched somehow. No. Absolutely not. All right, y'all blowing me up with truck stuff. Did you get the Arby's? That's cool. Want to come fix PS's truck. Who are you referring to on that?
OMG.
OMG?
He's a ASE certified technician.
Oh, damn, dude. Yeah, they're talking camshaft headers or whatever. Like, he says if they cover it under the free engine for life warranty, it's going to be like saving me $2,000 something odd dollars. Almost $3,000. I'm saying if I have to pay that, I might as well sell it for metal because I cannot afford that. I just finally paid that damn thing off.
Yeah, of course.
I just broke down today in a Ford. Did you? The 10.3 is not a town driving car. Yeah. What's wrong with the truck? Okay. Yeah. I think Real Girl addressed that. And Gerald, Real Girl says Gerald smiles per gallon in that V10. Oh my goodness. Hell yeah, bro. I am thinking if they fix it and I don't have to pay for it, I'm going to ask them what it's worth trade-in value because I kind of want to get a heavier duty truck. I was thinking about an F-250 because we're thinking about getting like a small travel trailer or something like that, So, yeah, we might need a bigger truck. Got a Triton engine. Broken Patriot says, flip over and read the directions. Camshaft bearings on the headers are bad. Yep. Okay. I think 44-gallon gas tank. Holy shit. I had a Suburban. I did have a Suburban. Nothing but problems with my Suburban. Absolutely nothing but problems. 40-gallon tank with second largest subs. LOL. World's second largest sub. Nice, dude. Yeah, mine was a gas guzzler too. I mean, it was like $100 to fill that thing up. Because that was the first time I think I've filled up a vehicle of mine. Because I've had it happen with semi-trucks. But it was the first personal vehicle of mine that I had where the pump shut off. Because it hits $100 and it stops. And if you want to continue, you have to redo all the typing. Broken Patriot, because they don't teach history anymore. I had to teach my kids history because their school wouldn't. Damn, the truth that hurts. Yeah. All right. And a little bit of the hurricane damages. Apparently, the oil industry assesses damages at the refineries. Right? I'm not even going to really read this, to be honest. This is what's going on right now. Apparently, the storm hit more of Louisiana than it did of Texas. But supposedly, from what I can tell, it doesn't seem like it's too bad. Do you guys have any other information on that? I'm kind of curious because from what I've read, and I didn't read a lot, today's was mostly about what's going on with Kyle there, right? But from what I did see, that it doesn't look like the damage is too bad. Some of the houses, obviously, but it's not like Katrina, like we were worried about. OMG, yes, I got roasted chicken, just the chicken and salad from Love's in Tucumcari, New Mexico. Don't get a payment? Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm hoping. I just paid it off. I was like, finally, I don't have to get payments, right? But we're saving for land right now, so I don't know, man. If I didn't get payments, I'd have to sell it individually, and then buy one individually and hope that I don't get screwed. Because my last buy that I bought individually was the Suburban, and before I even got it home, the check engine light came on. So maybe, I was a little bit undereducated on that, and maybe I'll do things differently, but I am kind of worried about that. This is the car I know with the problems I know versus something else, who knows. Buy a pre-06 diesel. Why pre-06? I do want to get a diesel. Yes, I want to get a diesel 4x4. And I'm kind of, if I don't get a Ford, I'd get a Dodge Cummins. Yeah, most new cars are designed to break down because they work with the parts and repair the companies. Yeah. I heard that the newer Fords, the 013, was it? Or the 2013 and newer ones have this better engine in them that doesn't break down as much. I forget the name of it. My buddy Hippies for Trump live streamed during the hurricane. He lives in the middle of it. Yeah, I saw some of that. I went to his channel after I was done, and oh my god, the dude was streaming for over 12 hours. I have no idea how you could even do that. Ignore engine lights. Oh, dude, no. My engine light would come on and it would go off. It would come on and it would go off here and there, right? And so I talked to my guy about it. He told me what he thought it was. And then I was like, well, I got to save up for that because I didn't have the money at the time. And it actually sat for about a year. I finally got some money together and I decided to look into it more. And now the person's telling me I need to replace the entire engine, or pretty much like it would be worth replacing the entire engine. Now, I bought my vehicle from Trucks Only here in Arizona, and they have a free engine for life if you keep all your receipts of your oil changes. You keep up your oil changes, right? So I kept up my oil changes thinking, you know, that's a pretty good thing. I hope I can cash that in someday. Sure enough, the guy says, well, you need a whole new engine. I take it to Trucks Only, and they're saying, well, it's mostly just the headers and the camshaft up there, and it might not be the engine under engine qualification for the free engine for life thing. So I'm getting prepared to get screwed over by this for sure. You got to go, Fallout Gaming? Well, I'm wrapping it up. So good night. Have a good night, bro. No emissions. Okay.
If it's pre-06.
Pre-06, no emissions. Right on. That's cool. I liked my first car ever was a 66 Rambler. I didn't have to wear a seatbelt, even though it had seatbelts in it, because that was an option at the time. I actually got pulled over by a cop in that car who tried to give me a seatbelt ticket, and I was like, no, you can't do that, because this year, I think it was up to like 73, that seatbelts were an option. And if it was an option, even if I had the seatbelts in my vehicle, I'm not required by law to wear them. Cars come with a factory, from the factory with an average of 5 wiring issues. OMG, be like a mechanic and ignore them. I also, the mortar mounts were going bad. That was what I actually wanted to replace, but I found out those were $700. I was like, yeah, I can deal with a shaking engine. Shit, $700. If you're not in the know, get an independent inspection. Yeah, the O2 sensor light, no biggie. Do you think Kyle should be guilty or not? Okay, Beats. Hey, welcome. From what I've seen, and I'm not a judge or jury, but from what I've seen, I have no reason to think, other than that he was under 18, that he did anything wrong. And we went through this whole thing. You'd have to start the chat over again in order to see that. My first car was an AMC. Right on. Yeah, mine too. My Rambler was an AMC. I wanted the Javelin, right? My family was in the AMC club. My mom had a Nash Rambler, and I think we had another AMC. I just forget the name of it off the top of my head, but we were into that back in the day. They ran great. Absolutely great. My 66 Rambler station wagon was a straight 6. Originally it was a automatic, but I changed it over to a standard transmission. So, but I kept the column shift, so it had to be in park or neutral in order for it to even start. AMC Javelin, yeah, that was a badass car. It was a rust bucket falling apart. Okay. Certain years the Mercedes have biodegradable wiring. Holy shit. All right. You had a Rambler? Right on. I like the song. If you had a Rambler, you know the song. The Rambler song where he's passing a Cadillac. All right? Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Don't forget to check out the descriptions below. There are links. There are causes that I believe in and I support. However, that's going to change a little bit because now we have to worry about GoFundMe and their political beliefs, right? But for right now, I still support Justice for Cannon. It's a GoFundMe for Cannon. I think he was 5 years old. Yep, 5 years old, who was shot in his front yard riding his bike by his neighbor. We also have a petition to arrest officers Jeff Cook and John Ferragamo here in Arizona. That's a change.org thing. They shot Ryan Whitaker in his back. They also have a GoFundMe. Ryan Whitaker's GoFundMe is there. News and updates on Ryan's murder. You can check out their Facebook page. Another one that I support and tell you that maybe you should support as well is help find our missing in action. It's projectrecover.org. They actively go out and look for lost service members and bring their remains back to their families. And it's a pretty good organization, in my opinion. And lastly, Rally Point Irish. It's a good friend of mine, Irish USMC vet. He also has a YouTube channel here. We sometimes do daily morning chats. He's getting his stuff reworked right now, so hopefully that'll start up again pretty soon. But his GoFundMe is for farming for veterans. He's trying to set up a place in Tennessee where veterans can come and live room and rent free, or room and board free. And then they can also pick up a skill like farming, blacksmithing, and gunsmithing. If you want to support my content, I have a few ways of how you could do that down below. There's also a link if you want to get $10 free of Bitcoin. It helps out the channel a little bit for me, and it gives you $10 free Bitcoin. Next is all the places that you can follow me. I have a BitChute channel. I have a DLive. If you're watching on DLive, hey DLive. Parler, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now the Facebook and Twitter, that's Riddle Girls. I think I might start getting on Facebook. In fact, I might start streaming on Facebook. But I'm usually not on Facebook very much. And Twitter, I've been banned from Twitter for telling people when I come on live, and it's a whole ordeal, so I don't even know. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to keep your family close. Watch out for that government. Try to live as free as you possibly can. Also, before I go, I want to let you know that I do have these chats every weekday night at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or about an hour and 34 minutes prior to where I'm at right now. All right, and I'll have a little screen at the end. So anyway, until tomorrow, peace.